and welcome everyone to what is a very exciting day for us all here in Game Day Squad world. I am going to be your host for the Game Day Squad Indian Fantasy Cricket live show all season. I'm Coach Cal. I've got Coach Kerm with me. Kerm, Indian Fantasy Cricket is here. How excited are you?
So excited. It was only a couple of weeks ago. It felt like the Australian-New Zealand test matches ended and it was like, oh, what's going to happen now? But Indian cricket to save the day for all cricket fans right around the corner. And then here we are, like it was nothing. We're back into some higher tier. I mean, this is the biggest domestic cricket stage in the world. So how can you not be excited?
Well, yeah, it's fantastic, and things kick off. Like, we are here based in Australia, but that's not going to stop us from watching all the cricket action and covering it all this season. And of course, competing here on Game Day Squad, because that's what we are, Kerm. We are fantasy sport. We don't care if it's Aussie rules, if it's basketball, if it's cricket. We just love it. So we look forward to competing with everyone all year. We hope to be able to give you some advice and have some fun along the way. If you've not joined our live shows before, make sure you do leave us some questions. We'd love to get you guys involved, because if you answer some questions, if your question gets answered on the show, you actually get a chance to, or you will win some packs. And Kerm,
Yes.
I believe we've got not only some starter packs, but we've also got some common packs up for grabs.
We do.
And I don't know about you, but spoiler, I've still got some work to do, so I wouldn't mind a few of them. I wouldn't mind a few of them myself. So I'm keen to get stuck into it. And of course, we are here. If this is the first time you have seen Game Day Squad or played a game here, Game Day Squad, how we run our competitions is every single day there's a game on, we have prizes going out. So we've got some of the best fantasy cricket prizes in the world. Head over to our gamedaysquad.com.au. We've got a flashy new website that's just launched today.
Yes.
So whether you're new or old, there's a few things happening there, but that's where all the links to take you to everything you need to know. So anything that you want to call out, Kerm? I know we'll get to a few changes of what's different from our Indian fantasy cricket, potentially for those users who have been around since the World Cup or the Australian cricket. But anything in particular you're most excited for?
I mean, just the Indian cricket scene in itself is really exciting for us to get into, and I'm personally super excited to attack it. It is one of the biggest sporting tournaments in the world, one of the biggest competitions in the world. And for us, it's just exciting to be a part of it. And we welcome everyone who's new to Game Day Squad, as you said earlier on in your piece, onto the platform. We're excited to have everyone who's new, old, and returning. We're super excited to get amongst it.
Fantastic. Yeah, we are definitely excited. And Kerm, you are based here in Australia, but you've become our night watchman of the Game Day Squad team. So you are going to be around. If anyone ever has any questions, hit us up onto the Discord, on our socials, all the way up to the start of the games. You're going to be there helping out, making sure things are running smoothly while some people are asleep. So those who aren't going to be staying up for the action. So I reckon we get stuck into it, Kerm. I can't wait to talk about this. I wanted to kick things off with our platform and what is actually different, not only with other traditional platforms, but also what we've done different when you look at our previous Oz cricket season or potentially even the World Cup. I know you were the mastermind behind a couple of those changes. Do you want to kick some off with a couple of them that we've made?
Yeah, of course. The first one, and the one that most users have been calling out, is the batsmen and wicket-keeper positions have combined for the In Cricket 2024 season. The reason we did this is we know that wicket-keepers, unlike in Test cricket and the longer formats of cricket, they go beyond just being a wicket-keeper, and so many teams have lent towards, using these wicket-keeper batsmen in more than just one position. And, gone are the days where teams would just select one wicket-keeper batsman in their starting 11. I mean, some of the best teams and some of the best players in the world are using upwards of almost 4 wicket-keepers in their team, or recognised wicket-keepers in their team. So we sat down, we thought, how can we work our way into getting more wicket-keepers into people's 11s? Because we don't want people missing out on, one that I've earmarked from the start was Quinton de Kock, KR Rahul, and Nicholas Puran, and Lucknow. That would just be a nightmare if you only had one of those to select from. So batsmen and wicketkeepers have combined for this tournament and the foreseeable future. It is just important to note that batsmen can't be selected in the wicketkeeper position slot. So it's only going to be wicketkeepers selected as batsmen. They're combining, not the other way around. And the other one we've gone to We've actually increased the amount of cards per tier. So users will know if you've been around Game Day Squad a little bit, played the other sports like Aussie Rules and Rugby League or the other crickets that we've done in the past. We've actually increased the amount of player cards per tier. Which is exciting for users because that means that you get to collect more of your favorite player cards. There's more in circulation. We're expecting the transfer market to be ripe and hot throughout the tournament, and we're excited to get as many player cards into the rotation as possible. So yeah, there's a couple of the highlighting changes coming into the 2024 in cricket tournament that we're excited about.
I love it, and I love the increase in the player cards. We had some great support from some new coaches in the subcontinent. So if you are, I know we had some big growth in Sri Lanka and India. So if you are currently over there, let us know. We love that you're playing Game Day Squad. We hope you're enjoying it, and we can't wait to get stuck into a bit more fun. All right, let's get stuck into it, Kerm. How we're going to be doing, how we're normally going to be doing these shows is because we're going to be doing a daily format. We're going to be going any day, Monday to Friday. We'll be on if there's a game, and we'll be previewing the last game. How did we go? Calling some things out, mistakes maybe we made that we want to pass on to people that potentially that they can learn from, or maybe it's to avoid if you see us making mistakes.
Yeah.
And then also we want to be looking for the round ahead. Now, sometimes that'll be one game. So tonight we've just got the single game, but there will be some games where we've got some rounds where we've got 2 games in it. So all the details on which games are included in which round are over in our support documents. If you're unsure, make sure you just send a message to someone on the Discord. We'll be there to help you out. And we'll be having a look at how we'll be going. Now, we'll be doing these shows a little bit before the teams get selected, Kerm. And tonight was pretty hard because obviously we don't know what's happening. For those who don't know, they might have seen some jerseys change. We've still got teams changing their jerseys and their team name a few days out before the season starts, which has been fun, is how I'd describe it. But we love it. I think there's some great new designs coming through, and I think sneak peek, there'll be a few more next week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keen to get stuck into this and going through. Today's a little bit more of an overview, a bit of a welcome, and of course, we want to give away some packs. Now, Kerm, there's already been a few questions come in. I know we had a fair few come through on our YouTube before. Is there anyone that you in particular want to call out?
There's a couple that we can leave for when we talk about our own teams. Toby on YouTube, he posed a question: who will be the #1 point scorer in this year's IPL, lads? This is one of fantasy's, favorite questions, no matter which sport you choose to follow throughout. It's a tough one to always navigate. And cricket specifically, because especially short format cricket, anything can happen at any given time. It's about as up and down as any fantasy sport can be. But one player that's really caught my eyes leading into the tournament is Hardik Pandya. He is a superstar in the Indian cricket landscape. He's been around the IPL for a very, very long time. He's been in the Indian cricket national format for a very, very long time, and he is a short format cricket superstar. But he's had his injury troubles, and he's put him out of contention for a lot of selection in the Indian cricket national sides, which has been disappointing on a personal level for him. But he moves over to the Mumbai Indians. He's actually taken the captain's armband off of Rohit Sharma, which is
big,
massive
big shoes to fill.
Massive shoes to fill. And there's a lot of captain talk going on at the moment that we'll talk about later on as well. But Hardik Pandya, for mine, he looks healthy. He's told everyone that he's healthy, and he should be bowling again in 2024. And for me, that just means he is going to be incredibly hard to stop this season. So if I had to put my hand up and pick anyone for this year's leading scorer at the end of the season, it is going to be Hardik Pandya for the Mumbai Indians. Super, super exciting. And any breakout stars, this is from Dan's Dynamos. He's been a long time follower of us and player on Game Day Squad. So it's good to see Dan in the chat again. He says, any breakout stars for this season's tournament? And there's going to be quite a lot. And I think the one player that everybody is excited to see is Rachin Ravindra out of the New Zealand setup. He absolutely set the ODI World Cup alight. I know a lot of players on the Game Day Squad platform who played that.
It was a hot card. It was a very hot card.
So popular. And for all the right reasons. He bowls, he bats, he fields well. And I expect him, he's taking over Devon Conway's position at the top of the order. He'll be opening the batting tonight, I presume. I know we're starting a little bit ahead of time here, but I expect Rashid Ravindra to open the batting tonight, which is super exciting for him, such a young player. And I think he's one of many cricket's golden childs at the moment, and the IPL has so many. Again, we'll go into a lot of them throughout these live shows, and we'll talk about the likes of Jaiswal and Shubman Gill, these type of operators. But Rashid Ravindra out of New Zealand, everything points towards him having a breakout season. So he would be the player I earmark for breaking out in 2024 for this season.
There you go. I love it. And just a reminder, if you get your questions answered on here, we've got packs coming your way. So keep the questions coming in. I had a question. I saw it before. I couldn't find it, but it goes to your point there, Kerm. So whoever's question this is, you're going to get a pack. Sorry, I don't have your name in front of me. I'll go back and find you. It was just a question about how do we navigate the 4 overseas players? Who do we think some of these squads? Because obviously there is the cap in the Indian cricket. You're looking through some of these rosters and you could easily pick 5 or 6. Like it is really, really tough. Good players are going to be missing out as well. So I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Obviously, we're going to have to go a few rounds in before anyone's got a bit of confidence with selecting their squads. But hey, that's what the lockout is. And the lockout's going to be 1 minute before the start of every single game. So make sure, you see when that teams get announced, you rush over and make sure your squads are good to go. Kerm, we're going to move on to we're going to do this every round. What's going to have a big theme or a big question we have going into the round. Now, sometimes it's about our squad. Sometimes it's just in general. So, you've been talking a bit. So I'll kick it off with my first one. My big question coming into tonight's game or today's game, depending on where you are in the world, is what is the best way to deploy the salary cap if you're playing in our classic competition? If you've got a gun card, is it somewhere where you're going to be looking to play them? Like if I had a diamond, I don't know, Kohli. Let's say I had a Kohli playing tonight. Would you be going all in and trying to surround him with bronzes? Is that the right strategy? If he tees off, then absolutely it is the right strategy. But starting off, I know a lot of people maybe don't have all the bronze cards to get started unless they've been wheeling and dealing with lots of trading. So I think to start, it's really you look at what you've got in your bronze pool and you go from there, because you can only do what your bronze cards allow you. Otherwise, you're going to go over that cap, which is more than fine, but it just pushes you into the champion competition. And that's, of course, completely unlimited. Anyone with those diamonds and platinums will be running some cards. And I know it is nice and competitive there. So that is my big question heading into the round. I'm keen to see how people have set up their squads for round 1. And hopefully, you'll be able to see what I've done in just a short moment. But you've gone with a player for your round 1. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, and this is touchy because anyone who brings this up at the moment is it's a touchy subject. And we spoke about Hardik Pandya taking over from Rohit Sharma, the long-time Mumbai Indians captain. But MS Dhoni, he's given up the captain's armband, and you just have to wonder at his age. I mean, MS Dhoni he's got nothing to prove in cricket anymore. He's gone past anything that he would ever have achieved at the start of his career. He's got nothing to prove in cricket. He's pushing 40. We're hearing news out of the CSK camp about his knees and how he's traveling going into the season. And it just, for me, the biggest news story coming out of MS Dhoni's preseason camp is him giving up the captain spot. It just, for me, indicates that this might be the last season for MS Dhoni, which would be a super, 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 super sad day for cricket, because he is one of the absolute stars and legends of the game. And if this really is the end of the beginning of the end for MS Dhoni in cricket, then, let's lap it up and enjoy it while we can, because we're going to be seeing one of the greats leave the great game of cricket. So, yeah, that's just something for me to point out. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he's back next season, but the way it's trending at the moment, it looks like MS Dhoni might be going into his last season.
Yeah, which would be sad. For those following along, please do not spam the comments. You will get yourself banned. Yes, it's the end of an era. Someone is already calling it there, Kerm. They're ahead of you. I wonder if any coaches will zag tonight and still go with him. It'll be pretty tough. There's a pretty good other wicketkeeper coming the other way. Toby, our strategy, you're about to find out. Kerm, you can kick things off. We're both playing in the classic competition. Let's see how you're lining up for round 1, tonight's game. Talk us through it. You've got 3 key points you want to talk about.
Yes. So for me, can Cameron Green back up his 2023 season? And Cameron Green last season, slightly under the radar in the Australian media, but he averaged over 50 points per game last year in the IPL. And I think, I expect him to bowl his at least 2 or 3 overs per innings. And if he can get anywhere near that average of last year where he finished in the squad of the tournament, I think he is going to be a very, very, very popular card. And I think we'll see him be very popular tonight off the back of the 2023 season he had. So, yeah, that was my first point. Cameron Green, very popular player, and I expect him to be. The second point there.
I was going to say averaging 50 points last year, which had him at 14th overall. So he would have just finished outside of our all-star squad, but 5th overall for an all-rounder. So definitely a very popular card to have because if they're playing, you want him in there. So I like it.
The dude is a good cricket player. The second one there is bronze Virat Kohli going to be enough? And the question is, if the answer to that is, if I had a higher tiered Virat Kohli card, I would have played it. We've been very, very, very busy on the transfer market so far today, trying to get our squads up to scratch. A lot of head scratching in the background. And I would have loved to have snagged a higher tiered, a silver or a gold Virat Kohli. But for me, I'm going to have to settle for bronze, and I hope to God it doesn't hinder me too much in the leaderboards come tomorrow morning because, man, it might become – Virat Kohli is the type of player where it might become a point where if you don't have in the capped competition a silver or a gold, you're going to be starting at a detrimental point. So very intrigued to see how that goes, and I know we'll get onto your squad in a little bit, but you have a nice one. The third
no spoilers.
Point here,
no spoilers.
No spoilers. The third point here is gold Jadeja. And I sort of came to the conclusion when I was building my squad, if I don't have a silver or gold Virat Kohli, I want at least a gold Ravi Jadeja, because I think for me, Jadeja is one of the best players in world cricket. There's no doubt about that. I think he is the best fielder in world cricket. He's going to bowl his 4 overs. We saw in the England Test series, he was carrying a little bit of an injury. I think it was a hamstring. But he was very limited in his bowling. He's been rehabbing a lot since then, and he was on light duties through the Test series. So I expect him to bowl his 4 overs tonight or today, depending on where you're listening from. And with the bat, we know what he can do. There's not many as damaging coming in at 5, 6, 7 as Ravi Jadeja. So if he gets a chance to go and death hit for CSK tonight, I think he's going to be a very, very good card. And we spoke about who might be the number 1 ranked GDS card at the end of the season. I said Hardik Pandya. It was hard to there was a bit of a toss-up between Ravi Jadeja and him amongst the all-rounders because we know how powerful they are in fantasy cricket. So, yeah, those are my points.
Yeah, definitely. And that I've got some points on him in a moment, but those all-rounders, very popular in Game Day Squad because they do both. If anyone's got any questions for Kerm about his squad, get them in now. While you do that, I'm just going to answer a couple of questions, Kerm, that have come up. We've got a question in about our referrals. There are other types of referrals available. We will jump over onto our support documents. It isn't just starter packs, but we've just changed it the way that we've got them. So there are different levels to it now. So level 1 is just starter packs, but level 2 and level 3 definitely gets you access to commons and above. So go check that out. It's not just bronze you can get for getting your other friends and coaches involved. And then we've got a question. Will this show be on every day before the game? Every day guaranteed during the week. On weekends, we might do a pre-recording. We still need to figure out how that's going to go. Any questions? Did you pack or buy your Jadeja, Kerm?
I was lucky enough to pack him, believe it or not. It was probably the best player I packed all day today. I was very stoked to get him and play him tonight. So, yeah, very lucky.
Yeah, nice. All right, I'll flick on over to my squad now. Yeah, that's how I've gone. Yep, you're gonna. Yeah, you'll notice something straight away, but I've got it covered. I've got it covered. Number 1, I was lucky. I packed 2 great cards, and they just happen to be a bit of homegrown talent here from Australia, Glenn Maxwell and Cameron Green. So my squad, you can see, is absolutely centered around them. And if they don't perform, I don't perform. So I'm kind of all in on those guys, but they're super talented. We saw how good they were last year. We just spoke about Cameron Green. I think that Cam Green card is going to be a card that I have for a long time because, of course, guys, we are a dynasty platform, which means that these cards, you don't lose them all at the end of the year. You carry them from season to season. So that number 9, Cam Green, I'm going to have him for a very long time, I suspect. So I've thought similar with you. King Coley, is he still the king? He was last year. He has been for a long time. I've only got the bronze of him.
Wow.
Yeah, so I couldn't go higher. I have to play the bronze, and I'm going to play him just because I think. Check out this batting lineup tonight for the challengers. Sorry, absolutely incredible. They're going to score 250. I remember looking through the list and being like, "This is insane." I think we had a question before from Lions. He was asking, "Are they going to go all the way this year?" I'm going to bring it up. Yes, I do think so because they're going to outscore everyone. Is my take, but. I haven't been right the last few years with the IPL, so don't follow me too much. Number 3, why have I left 2 players blank?
Yeah.
Timo, that's a great question. The answer is because I do not have my hands on a Mohammad Siraj or Ravinder Jadeja.
Yeah.
And I've got, what's the time now? 6 hours? I have 6 hours to acquire them. So if you have a spare of either of them, you know where you'll find me.
The live stream.
I'm using the live stream. Hey, coaches use our Discord to chat with other coaches all the time and get trades done. I'm going to use the live stream. So if you have a spare, I've got a few good cards around. I am interested in them. You spoke for yourself about Jadeja. He was the 4th overall, but Siraj, he was the 12th overall bowler in the Indian cricket season last year. So I'd be crazy not to try and get my hands on him for tonight's game. So any questions that you've seen, Kerm, that you want to answer, or any questions that anyone has about my squad, please get them in. But anything in particular you wanted to cover, Kerm? Maybe this question we've got here about the impact player. Do you want to touch on that one?
Oh, yeah. This one, the impact player is going to be tough. It's gonna hurt a lot of players throughout the season. We tried to figure out ways to dance around it, but the impact player is a player who can come on. Every team has a designated impact player, just one, and they can bring them on throughout the bowling innings, I believe, and it means that the starting player in the 11 gets taken off the field for your impact player. They're not going to count in our teams. They're not going to count towards your overall team score this season. It's something we're going to be looking for in the future. But yeah, it's going to be something that every coach is going to have to navigate around. It's going to be tough. It's going to add a little bit of spice throughout the leaderboard, I imagine, as the season goes on. So that is something to watch, definitely, as the season progresses, as teams announce theirs and we get a little bit of consistency.
Yeah, nice. And I'll fire another one at you for Dill, who's going to, of course, win a pack here. He's going to hit us up on the Discord after this because we've got his question answered. So also we've got a game coming up. We're going to play a game. So if you want to be involved in that, let us know you're in the stream. Just say, yes, I want to be involved. It'll be all yours. And we've got, which international bowler do you think we'll run with tonight for RCB? You can see I've already got Joseph on there. So I'm going to handball that one to you.
Yeah, I think it'll be Alzari Joseph as well. He's been around the West Indies national setup for a long time now. He's been in the IPL a couple of years. And with the summer he had, I think RCB would be a little bit silly not to play him. Topley was impressive before getting injured in the ODI World Cup. But I just think Alzari Joseph is the most recognised international bowler there. And they'll go with him early.
Nice. And Luke, your question didn't come up on the stream here, but I've still got it in front of me from the YouTube. It looks like you get the comments in too early. I can't bring them up onto the screen. He did ask, you asked a few, any plans for game day to have a scoreboard? Doesn't have to be live, but it would be nice to see final points across a match. That is one of the priorities we have here at Game Day Squad at the moment, is getting in a game center, getting in some live stats and scoring, which will really, really round out a lot of great work that's been going on. So yes, it is coming. Will it be here by the end of the Indian cricket season? Maybe. We've got terrific devs, but it is definitely on the agenda. We're going to be having that in, so stay tuned for more of that. People are keen for the game, Kerm. I reckon we get straight into it. Now, apologies while I try and maneuver this. I know we've got to get my squad onto the screen over here because we've got a couple of packs. So bear with me here as I try and navigate this and make myself a little bit bigger than I need to be. Sweet. So we
need a legend here, man.
We've been saying that for a couple of years now across all our different games here. So Kerm, we got 2 3-player packs. We've
Mhm.
got a couple here. So, do you want to kick things off? Do you want me to kick things off? Do you want to explain how this game works? I know we've been doing it for our Aussie Rules live show.
Yes.
But do you want to kick things off? Do you want to explain?
Yeah, I'll kick things off. So what's going to happen is we'll open a 3-player common pack. We won't flip the cards all at once. So we're going to flip one by one, blind pack. I'm going to have to say sell, keep, or give. Sell means that it'll get put on the transfer market for 1 cent. Keep means that I will keep the card, and give means that a lucky person in the comments is going to get the card that I decide to give out. So hopefully we have some talented players to give out in these packs today, because I know the AFL live show has been struggling, or at least it was when I was on. So maybe I'm the issue here.
Last night I packed a very good card.
Interesting. Well, there's something for people to go look at. Yeah,
it was a platinum Josh Kelly. But we're here to talk about cricket. Yes. Kerm, you want to pick someone else? I think we've got someone who really wants a card. So
yes, okay.
So this is going to be the blind buy, sell, give. I forget what we name it. So I'm not going to hover over the cards. You've got to tell me which one do you want to go to first?
Let's just go left to right. Left to right.
Left to right. All right. We've got Khan. Maybe not the Khan you want.
No,
but a gold Khan.
It is gold. I'm going to put that on the market for 1 cent. I won't give that out just yet. I'm hoping that we'll find someone a little bit better than that to give. But I'll put that on the market, given that it's gold, for 1 cent later on tonight.
You're too kind.
Ooh, right. Another gold.
Ooh,
Hasaranga. Ooh, that's decent. The Sunrisers.
He was okay last year. 35 average. Pretty good.
That
was a base card. That was a base card.
Yeah. I'm going to give that, I think. I think that's good enough to give. I don't want to run the risk of this last card being a silver. It's still a gold. He should be in the starting 11. So, yeah, hopefully that one will make your starting team when the Sunrisers do play in a couple of days' time.
So make sure, Rishikesh, that you either reach out to us here on Facebook or onto Discord. We'll make sure we give you that card. There is your card. I says he needs the card, boys. You've got one, mate. Unfortunately, he's not going to help you tonight, but he will help you. And Kerm, this leaves this card for you. Yes. Another gold Mandel. None of these players are going to help you tonight.
No, they're not. Mandel's not going to. He shouldn't start in the 11. I shouldn't say he won't, because we don't know the starting 11s just yet. But no, I'm happy that I gave out that Hasaranga. It's nice to get 3 golds in a row. That's pretty good pack luck in a common 3. But yeah, hopefully, Rishikesh, that Hasaranga helps you out later on in the tournament.
Right, fantastic. That's your pack. Let's see how mine goes. Luke, you want a bowler? I'm going to try and get you one, mate. Let's give this a refresh, because let's see how we go here. I was still saying I'm having 2, but just a bit of a refresh. We didn't get the animation we want.
No, we didn't.
That's all right. So I'm going to target one here for you, Luke. I'm going to go left to right as well. Ooh, Kumar. Is he going to play? Is he going to play tonight? No,
he shouldn't do.
He shouldn't. Is there a chance he plays tonight? No, he shouldn't. I'm going to list that one on the market for 1 cent, because someone will take the gamble that he plays tonight and tries to snap that one up. I know Dill Williams is always looking for them. So at some point after this show, keep an eye on the transfer market. That card is going up for 1 cent. Another silver.
That's a decent card.
But it's not going to help Luke tonight.
It's not. Do we risk the 3rd card at the end? Do we play?
I don't mind Yadav for myself.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got one. I've just checked. I don't have a Yadav. That'll be handy. I don't know the fixtures then when he plays. So, Luke, this is all yours. Who have you got?
Wow.
Ooh, all right, someone that might play. There you go.
There you
go. Luke, we have absolutely nailed that for you, mate.
He should play tonight.
He should play, and let us know if he's going to slot straight into your squad. He's a silver, so will that fit in? Absolutely. I know you've earned yourself another card from asking a question before. So if you make sure, again, if you have reached out, we have had your question answered, hit us up on the Discord, because that is going to be all yours come the end of this game. Kerm,
that was clutch.
That wraps up what we're doing here. Like we said, we are going to be back every single day that there is a live show. I can't find where my slides have gone, so I can't push us over to the final slide. Anything you want to say tonight before we wrap up?
No, just good luck for the game tonight. Hopefully, we see a couple of names on the leaderboard tonight. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope everyone enjoys the games and we have a really good season. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like Tim has messaged here, there are some great blogs that the guys have written.
Oh,
They've gone team by team. So if you do need some advice, if you can, maybe you're going to sit down here in Australia and watch the footy, pull them up at quarter time. If you're over in the subcontinent and you need to figure out what players you should be having in, maybe sneak this on your Friday afternoon at work. We can't wait for things to get started. Like I said, we're going to be over on the Discord tonight. We look forward to getting involved with you all. Let us know who you're playing. And of course, I think we're going to have a few giveaways throughout tonight over there to help people get started. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back definitely on Monday for another episode of this. Until then, guys, good luck this weekend. Compete hard and look forward to seeing some of you guys on the leaderboard.